Welcome to Ascent Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Ascent Television.
Hello, welcome to Healthy Living. My name is Blessing Chiman. On our menu today, we'll be discussing on hepatitis. With me here is Dr. Chiman. Dr. Chiman, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Doctor, what is hepatitis?
Hepatitis is an inflammation of the liver, because that's another name for the liver, hepatic cell.
Okay.
So when you hear hepatitis, it means an inflammation or a disease condition of the liver.
Wow. So what are the causes of hepatitis?
Okay, hepatitis can be caused by various agents. You have pathogenic, that is viral agents, and non-pathogenic agents. When you talk about the pathogenic or viral agents, there's what's the viruses that can cause hepatitis, like the hepatitis B virus. Okay, like the hepatitis B virus, the hepatitis C virus, the hepatitis A virus, and then D and E. So the causative agent could be the virus, or it could be food, it could be water, it could be drug, it could be alcohol or toxins. Even drugs could be causes of hepatitis.
Okay. When you talk of food, what kind of food do you think could result or could cause this hepatitis?
Like fatty foods,
Really?
contaminated water, those are various causes of hepatitis E is caused mainly by contaminated water and food. So it's only in African areas or developing countries like Africa that you have the prevalence of the hepatitis E virus. So the cause of hepatitis E virus is contaminated foods and water, or dirty water.
Dirty water. So one should not take all those kind of fatty food in order not to...
So much fatty foods, yes, and then dirty water.
Okay. So what are the signs and symptoms of this hepatitis? How do I know that I'm having this hepatitis infection?
Yeah, there are different kinds of... hepatitis presents with different kinds of signs. You could have fatigue, you could have dark urine. Your urine might get dark or pale depending. You will have jaundice, that's yellowiness of the eyes. Then you could have the same yellowish patch on the skin, as well. If I mentioned vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pains, you could have fever, you could have headaches. They present with other kind of like malaria or typhoid. They may have similar kind of disease presentation. So in most cases, when you see people having weakness of the body, constant tiredness, fatigue, it could be related to hepatitis.
So you made mention of jaundice. Does that mean jaundice is related to hepatitis?
Yes. Hepatitis, as I earlier said, is inflammation of the liver, or a disease condition of the liver. Now, when there is hepatitis, when the liver is altered, blood is not properly broken down, or what you eat is not properly broken down. So you see that the unbroken blood gets to other parts of the body, like the eyes, the skin. You see some people's skin will be a little bit edematous or brittle. It's a sign of
Please, can
jaundice.
you break it down? Because I don't understand that in English.
Okay, when you're talking about, hepatitis is going to be more abdominal. The liver is located in the stomach.
Yes.
Good. So, normally, anything you eat or drink must be broken in your liver. Do you understand? So when there is a disease condition of the liver, you should expect that the liver will not function properly. So amongst the effects of the liver is to destroy used red blood cells. You understand?
In a situation whereby what you take in is not broken down,
Yeah.
so that it shows that probably is going to cause hepatitis or thereabouts.
Yes, those could lead to non-viral hepatic condition. So that's why we talk about poor feeding, poor fatty foods, and then late eating. These are things that could predispose.
When you say late eating, like what time is too late?
Late eating depends on the individual. If you're somebody that does increased activities, like for those students that read a lot at night, they could see it's late, quite late, 10, 11, 12, depending.
Really?
Because yes, the brain is doing a lot of activities, late readers. But if you're somebody that sleeps early, maybe by 9, 10 p.m. you're already asleep, you shouldn't eat later than 5, 6 p.m.
Okay, so that you won't be caught up with hepatitis.
Yes.
Okay, what are the different types of these hepatitis? But I do mostly it's like okay.
Okay, as I was just mentioning some of them, you have hepatitis A. It's practically self-limiting. Hepatitis A incubation could be between 14 to 28 days. Hepatitis A is not a problem. It could limit on its own. It can go on its own. We have, and it's also caused by a viral infection, hepatitis A virus. But it's not seriously a problem, that much of a problem. Then you have hepatitis B, which is more of the one that has the issue. The hepatitis B virus is caused by the hepatitis B virus. That becomes quite chronic. The acute one could be treated, but the chronic one needs a long period of time. Then you have the hepatitis C virus, which you also have to, presents itself in a chronic condition. Then you have the hepatitis D virus. In most conditions.
So is it that it grows from stage to stage, from A to B?
There are different types. Actually,
okay,
these are different types.
It's not as if it grows from stage to stage.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes it's maybe the hepatitis D virus that requires the hepatitis B to project itself. Okay. So for somebody to really come down with hepatitis D virus, he needs the hepatitis B virus in him too, or her. Then you have the hepatitis E virus. So the hepatitis E virus too is also to some extent limiting. It's caused by the hepatitis E is basically what is caused by contaminated foods and water.
Okay. Yeah. So these hepatitis A, B, C, they have different symptoms. They have different things that causes them to react on human body. Like for instance, somebody is diagnosed with hepatitis B. Does it show that there's a particular reaction that is causing that hepatitis B or what?
They could all present themselves with the same kind of clinical condition. Hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, they could all present themselves with the same clinical conditions. Just that the B and the C have more chronic presentation. Chronic in the sense that they could last for a longer period, so you require with that longer period of the chronic condition or the long presentation, you have that easy exposure to have a total liver cirrhosis or total damage to your liver. So that's why B and C are basically the problem we could have in the world today.
Okay, that was a good one. We go on a break now, and when we come back, we'll be enlightening you on preventive measures and best way to treat hepatitis. Don't go away.
Welcome to Ascent Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Ascent Television. Welcome to Ascent Television.
Okay.
In case you are just joining us, you're watching Healthy Living. So, doctor, I want to know, which preventive measures can one apply to avoid this infection?
Okay, hepatitis, in same with many other disease conditions, you need clean conditions, clean and healthy conditions. Now, hepatitis could be transmitted through various body fluids.
Okay.
You have the secretions from the body, you have even seminal secretions, vaginal secretions, blood, saliva in some cases. These are the sources of transmission. So if before you get to prevent hepatitis, you need to know how it can be transmitted. So the transmission processes are, as I said, contaminated water, contaminated foods, food and water that may have been contaminated with the virus in different stages, then contaminated blood, sharing of sharp objects, blades, pins, between an infected person and a non-infected person. Then you also have the, as I said, that means sex is one of them too, because exchange of fluid, individual fluid, maybe vaginal fluid or seminal fluid, from an infected to a non-infected person. So these are the mode of transmission. So to prevent them is to stay away from some of all these things, or to have a clean condition.
Okay. So how deadly this infection? How deadly can it be on human? How is it that bad that without these works that you have just told us, can it actually affect somebody that it will lead to death instantly, or how?
Hepatitis might not lead to instant death. It's more or less progressive. Hepatitis is normally progressive because before the liver will completely get damaged, that means that disease or the hepatitis condition in such an individual has prolonged for a long time. So it would have been damaging the liver over time. So hepatitis, most especially death from hepatitis, is not always acute. It's over a period of time. It's always a chronic condition.
It's okay. Well, on the final note, doctor, how best can this infection be treated?
Well, as I said, hepatitis A virus is not much of a problem. It could be self-limiting on its own. Self-limiting in the sense that it goes down on its own. Hepatitis B and C hepatitis B and C are the major problems we have because, as I said, they present themselves with a chronic condition. When they affect the liver, their situation is chronic. So when they remain, they keep damaging the liver and then predisposing one to other disease condition in the body. So that's why hepatitis B and C are more of the problem. Then hepatitis D and E, quite also self-limiting, though D requires B to function, to be more of a problem to the individual. But D and E also, just like A, are not that very life-threatening compared to B and C. Then treatments for hepatitis, well, one has tested, because your doctor should assist you in your diagnosis. If you start observing some of all those signs that we had mentioned earlier, you see your doctor, he could recommend some tests for you. Now, when you go for some of all those tests, with your test results, you meet back your doctor. Don't treat hepatitis on your own. You have to meet your doctor, because
it's not something you don't treat on yourself.
No.
Go to the chemist, get a drug,
No,
and start
no,
treating
no.
immediately.
No, it's important you go back to your doctor, because there are different types of drugs and at different stages. And if you do your test and you're lucky to be free of hepatitis, get vaccinated.
Okay.
Yes, get vaccinated.
That's all right. You've had it all from doctor. Don't forget this. Health is wealth. Health is beauty. Health is everything you need in life. Pay attention to your health. Treat every symptoms of diagnosis. Till we meet again next week, keep watching Healthy Living on Asset Television. Bye for now.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news,